Most people don't know this, but your hair porosity can affect your hair growth. So if you want to get a better understanding of high porosity hair, how to care for it, and the types of products that you should use, keep watching this video. I'll be recommending all of that in this video. If you have high porosity hair, it means that water, oils, and other type of products can easily be absorbed to your hair. But on the flip side, because your hair is highly porous, it may not be able to retain that moisture as well as other types of hair. To help nourish, moisturize, and repair high porosity hair, you may have to use certain hair care products that include heavier ingredients like oils and butters. So to understand hair porosity, it helps to know a bit more about hair structure. Each strand of your hair is made up of three layers. We have the cuticle, the cortex, and the medulla. So the cuticle is the outermost layer of your hair, and the cortex is the middle layer, and the medulla is the innermost layer. The outermost layer of your hair shaft consists of tiny cuticles that are too small to see with the naked eyes. These cuticles protect the inner layer of your hair by controlling how much moisture as well as products and chemicals can be absorbed. If the cuticles are too close together, it can prevent moisture from being absorbed to the hair, and it's known as low porosity hair. But we're talking about high porosity hair, so that's why it's called low porosity hair, because the cuticles are too tight for moisture to be absorbed. But with high porosity hair, our cuticles are more open, so it's easy for us to absorb moisture, but it's also, on the flip side, it's hard for us to retain that moisture because of it. If the cuticles are too far apart, it has the opposite effect. Moisture can easily get into the hair, but it doesn't stay long enough to nourish and moisturize your hair, which is also known as high porosity hair. That's what I was talking about before. High porosity hair can be genetic, which means that it runs in your family. Many times though, it can be caused by hair processing and styling treatments like straightening, blow drying, bleaching, and other chemical application. So these are the things that can cause your hair shaft to open, or your cuticles to open up, which can cause high porosity hair. But also it can be genetics, like it runs in your family. So it's either those two ways that you can get high porosity hair. These types of treatments can damage your cuticles, causing them to lift or separate. This can create gaps between your cuticles, and as a result, your hair may be more porous than it normally would be. So that is what mainly causes high porosity hair, apart from it being genetics. I know that all this information might seem like a lot, but trust me, it's important to know all of this, because most of the times we use products or we use certain techniques that do not work for our hair, because that's why you're not seeing hair growth. That's why I mentioned at the beginning of this video that your hair porosity can affect your length, it can affect your hair growth, it can affect you having a healthy hair. And if you have a healthy hair, you see more hair growth and less breakage. So knowing what product technique depends on you knowing this information that I'm telling you. So most of the times you might even get confused if you have high porosity hair or low porosity. So in my previous video I talked about the test you can do. It's a very easy test. I also mentioned it in this video for you to also carry out. But trust me, knowing this thing is very, very important. This is like the first thing you should know before starting out your natural hair journey or hair journey in general, because this is a very vital information on how you can create your own specific routine for your type of hair. So I'm going to mention a few things that you should look out for that can tell you if you have high porosity hair without doing the porosity hair test. So the first thing is that your hair looks and feel dry. Because your cuticles are raised up, that means you will lose moisture as much as you can absorb that moisture. So if your hair is always feeling dry or it looks dry, it can also mean that you have high porosity hair. So the next thing is your hair tends to be frizzy, because our hair is normally in a dry state and we have to always go in with moisture. Your hair will look frizzy most times if you don't have a good routine or a particular routine that you're consistent with. Your hair will always look frizzy and always look dry. Then the next thing is that your hair tangles easily. So this is one thing that you should look out for to know if you have high porosity hair, because you notice that you get a lot more tangles on your natural hair. So the next thing is that your hair is prone to breakage. That's why I mentioned before that your hair porosity can affect your hair growth, because if your hair is breaking, really your hair is not going to grow longer. It's always going to be stagnant or getting shorter. So if you have high porosity hair, because your hair is dry, it tangles easily, it will lead to breakage. So that's why I'm talking about this. Like, you need to have a good routine and be consistent with it to be able to have a healthier and longer hair. The next one, that it air dries very quickly. Like I mentioned before, your cuticles are open, so you don't retain that moisture as long as other hair porosity. So you need to make sure that you're always making sure that you lock in that moisture. I'm going to talk more about this later on, but normally if you have high porosity hair, your hair air dries very quickly. The next thing is that it absorbs product quickly. Like I mentioned before, you have your hair cuticles are open, so you don't have any problem with your hair absorbing moisture or product. So that is another thing you should look out for to know if you have high porosity hair. And the last thing is that your hair rarely looks shiny, because your hair is always dry, frizzy, so you don't have that shine. The other treatments that you can do to make your hair shiny and your hair to look shiny, I always recommend hot oil treatment. Do that before washing your hair. Helps your hair from looking dull and for it to look shiny and look good. So now we're on to how to care for high porosity hair. This is what you're looking for. So when it comes to caring for highly porous hair, the goal includes reducing and reversing damage to the cuticle, and also helping your hair to retain moisture. Those are the two fundamental things for high porosity hair. Reducing the reversing damage and reducing the damage to the cuticle, because your cuticles are already raised up, so you need to reduce that damage and not cause more damage to that. And also retaining moisture. If I've not mentioned before, for a healthy hair, moisture is very important. Your hair shouldn't be in a dry state. Your hair should always look and feel moisturized. So with high porosity hair, our hair tends to feel dry, look dry. So you need to make sure that your routine and being consistent is your goal for high porosity hair. To help nourish, moisturize, and repair highly porous hair, it is important to use products that have the right formula for this hair type. Typically, this will involve using hair care products that include heavier ingredients like oils and butter. So I'm going to recommend products that contain more of this type of formulas or oils, butters, because you need to have products that will lock in that moisture, and you need a thick product to be able to weigh down that your hair cuticle for it to close up, and so that it can retain moisture longer. So I'm going to be recommending different shampoo that I've used, and some of them that I saw online, like from based on my research, some shampoo that I've seen that works well with high porosity hair. And I'm also going to mention some ingredients that you should look out for, that you know that okay, I need to get this particular shampoo. So for high porosity hair, I'm going to always recommend you buying moisturizing shampoo and shampoos that are sulfate free. These are the shampoos that you should look out for, because you don't want to use clarifying shampoos that will strip out the natural oils from your hair and leave your hair squeaky clean. You do not want that. You want moisturizing shampoo that's going to get your hair clean, but also your natural oils, like your natural oils are still in your hair, because you don't want your hair to feel dry even though it's going to break off. So that's one thing I'll mention you should look out for. So the first shampoo that I've used that I really love is the Cream of Nature Argan Oil shampoo. This is one thing I recommend on my channel every single time. It's so moisturizing. It doesn't strip my hair from its natural oils, and every time I use that shampoo, my hair is clean and my hair still feels moisturizing. That's how your hair should feel every single time you wash your hair. You don't want your hair to be squeaky clean and dry and rough. You don't want that. So the next shampoo I'm going to recommend is the Diva Coral No Poo Milk Cleanser. Basically, no poo means that the product isn't a normal shampoo. Instead, it has like a hair cleanser that is made with some proteins to help to soften and moisturize porous hair. So that's what I mentioned before. Always look out for moisturizing shampoo. Be looking out for that keyword when you see moisturizing shampoo on products. So the next shampoo I'm going to recommend is the L'Oreal Paris Total Repair shampoo. It's for damaged hair. So this is protein packed shampoo. It contains conditioning ingredients like almond oil that softens hair while reducing frizz. Like I mentioned before, one of the characteristics of high porosity hair is frizz, and also your hair is always dry. So always look out for shampoos or products that will soften, moisturize your hair, and that has protein in it. Also, protein is also good for high porosity hair. Helps to strengthen and treat that. Also, like I mentioned, this particular shampoo is for damaged hair. Your hair isn't damaged, but it's just that it's high porosity hair, so your cuticles being raised is not the ideal type of hair you would want. But you can also do these things to make your hair healthier and you retaining the length that you want. So the next shampoo is the Olaplex number 4 bond maintenance shampoo. This shampoo is designed to maintain internal moisture and strengthen and prevent breakage. These are the things that you want to always look out for in shampoos. Contains moisture, treats breakage, and maintains that moisture, like retains that moisture to your hair. You need to always get moisturizing shampoos. There are a lot of other shampoos that are out there that I've probably not tried, but you can also do your research. But one shampoo that I always constantly buy restock on is the argan oil shampoo. You can't go wrong with Cream of Nature argan oil sulfate free shampoo. It's like the shampoo that I use that works really well for my hair, and it's not expensive, it's affordable. So that's why I always get that. But I'm willing to try some of these shampoos that I mentioned, but really I've not used them. Is the argan oil Cream of Nature shampoo I can definitely vouch for because I've used it. But you can also try out these products that I mentioned because they contain all the necessary ingredients for high porosity hair, so you can also try that. So we're on to conditioners. Conditioners that contain butter and oils may help to seal the gaps or in the cuticles and provide a protective layer for your hair. Like I mentioned before, the reason why we for high porosity hair use oils and butter is to protect your cuticle, to weigh it down so that you can retain that moisture and that moisture doesn't leave your hair. So that's why I always recommend you using products that contain oils or butter that are moisturizing so that I can weigh down those cuticles and your moisture stays longer on your hair. So the product I'm going to recommend is the Shea Moisture Honey Intensive Care hair conditioner. So this product doesn't contain sulfate. That's one thing you should look out for in any product that you're buying. If it contains sulfate, do not get it because that's a harsh chemical and it's not good for your hair. So this, because it doesn't contain sulfate, it makes it a very good choice for high porosity hair. It also has shea butter, it has oils, it has so many other things that help to strengthen and moisturize your hair. So this is one conditioner that I've used. It's very good. Like, is very good. So this is one product I always recommend. So the next product that I'll recommend based on my research is the Neutrogena Triple Moisture Daily Deep Conditioner. This is an intensive hydrating conditioner which contains almond olive oil extract to help nourish and moisturize your hair. If you notice, you always be hearing moisturize. That's one key thing for high porosity hair. You need to look for that keyword in every product that you're buying. And also for your conditioners, you can also get deep conditioners because I always recommend you deep conditioning for high porosity hair because deep conditioning is that added moisture to your hair. So you need to always deep condition because it helps your hair to retain more moisture. Like, you need moisture for your hair to thrive well. So I always recommend it. So the last conditioner I'm going to recommend is a Silk 18 Natural Hair Conditioner. This is a daily conditioner that contains argan oil as well as amino acids to help reduce static and frizziness to your hair. And I'm also going to recommend one other conditioner. Is the olive oil conditioner. This is one product that I recently started using, and trust me, it's very good, and it's also not expensive. So I always look for affordable and good products to recommend, and this is an affordable product that you can get, so I always recommend it. So I'm moving on to deep conditioner. Deep conditioning treatments are especially helpful for that added moisture, nourishment, and softness to highly porous hair. Try to use a deep conditioner at least once or twice every week. Like I mentioned, deep conditioners, like because your hair is highly porous, deep conditioning is one treatment that you should always do. So I'm going to recommend different products quickly. So for the first one, I'm going to recommend the Shea Moisture High Porosity Moisture Correcting Mask. This is made with hemp seed, apple cider vinegar, and a lot of other proteins. This deep conditioning mask can help to coat cushion that your hair. It helps your hair to be soft, moisturizing, and feels good after doing this. So the next product I'm going to recommend is a Mamiya hair mayonnaise. It contains black castor oil and avocado oil. This is more like a protein treatment, but I also use it as a deep conditioning mask because it helps to keep my hair moisturized, and it also adds like a protein treatment. So it helps to strengthen my hair while I'm also getting that added moisture. And trust me, look out for products that contain avocado oil and black castor oil. It really helps in promoting hair growth, and it's also a protein treatment, so it's strengthening your hair and doing all that good stuff. So yeah, you can also check out for more products. I'm going to try and put more on the screen, but just try to look out for products that is good for high porosity hair, doesn't contain sulfate, moisturizing, and yeah, you're good for that. So moving on to how to help your hair to grow. So highly porous hair is often prone to breakage that can keep your hair from growing, like hair being stagnant. So in addition to using nourishing, hydrating hair products, the following tips can help to reduce hair breakage. So the first thing you should do is to avoid sulfate, parabens, silicones, sodium. All those ingredients can put a lot of damage to your natural oils. Like I mentioned, sulfate, all of these products, they strip out your natural hair oils. Then another tip I'm going to add to this is use only lukewarm water when washing your hair and conditioning your hair. Hot water may lift your cuticles and cause further damage, so make sure that you're using either lukewarm water or warm water or room temperature water. Just make sure you're not using direct hot water to your hair, which is definitely not good. So the next thing is dry your hair with a cotton t-shirt. Vigorous drying with a towel can create friction and cause breakage. A smooth fiber cotton shirt can be more soothing and may help to protect your hair from damage. If you saw in the beginning of this video, I was using a shirt to dry my hair, or I let my hair air dry. I do not use towels on my hair. It really just makes my hair to feel very dry afterwards. Then the next tip I'm going to add to this is minimize heat styling. You can also use heat styling and appliances, but make sure you use a lower heat if you really want to add heat to your hair, which I do not recommend. And use heat protectants when you're doing this, but in general I do not use heat to my hair at all. Like, why am I doing adding heat to my hair when my hair is already prone to damage? So I usually do not add heat to my hair at all. So if you have high porosity hair, water and oils can be easily absorbed, but your hair will have a hard time retaining that moisture. This can lead to your hair drying out, being frizzy, and prone to tangles and damage. However, there are certain products you can use, or strategies and techniques that you can use to improve the health of your hair and make your hair healthier and your hair to be manageable and to care for it and see that longer growth. Like you saw in the beginning of this video, my hair growth has increased so much since I started knowing this. Like when I started my hair journey, trust me, I didn't know what was hair porosity. I was just trying different things. But when I noticed my hair started liking certain things, and when I heard about hair porosity, and I realized, this is why my hair likes these certain things. But my hair care routine, I have a more detailed video on my hair care routine. I'll link that for you to check out. But in general, taking care of high porosity hair is very, very easy, and trust me, you see a lot of length retention and growth just by doing these certain things and techniques to your hair. You can follow my techniques that I use for my hair care routine. I'll leave that link below. So please don't forget to subscribe, and let me know in the comment section what you think, so that it helps for me to answer questions or whatever issues you're facing. It helps me to answer them. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe, like, leave a comment, and share to your friend that probably do not know this. And I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.